Hey there, everybody. Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley with you. It is 9 o'clock on our Tuesday evening. Hopefully you're doing fine. Hopefully you're staying safe out there with all the icy conditions. I was just out and about a little bit around our station and around our community here in Greensboro anyway. But where you are, it's probably similar. Spots that have been dried up and cleared are A-OK, but boy, are there some icy patches. And, right now, even just walking around to get into a store, into a business, into work, from your home, it's not easy walking on that ice. You've really got to be careful about your situation. So make sure you're taking that seriously out there and just kind of keeping yourself safe. This has kind of been already a few long days, and I think we have some more of those coming up as we go throughout the week. We're just starting to drip below freezing here. We're down to about 29 degrees, but this time last night, we were already falling down into the teens or so. So it was already a lot more dramatic, and now it's a little bit less so. This is not going to be quite as cold of a night for us. Still never really a bad idea to drip the pipes or something like that, but I don't think tonight is as much of a concern at all as last night was. In fact, this might be our warmest night of the week if you look at it that way. Overnight lows getting down into the upper teens to low 20s, so we will have some chill in the air. But I do forecast a lot of cold on the way over the next several days. Remember, today we started at 8. First single-digit day for us since Christmas. Not this year, Christmas of 2022, but it's been a little while, right? Temperatures will be in the teens most mornings this week. In fact, we're actually working on a bit of a streak. Tonight will be the closest call to me. If we get to 19, we'll keep the streak going. If we stay at 20, that streak will end. But it's been 4 days in the teens already, and we could have another 5 to 6 to 7 coming up on the way. Tomorrow, pretty basic forecast here. Obviously, watch your step, watch the side streets, watch the sidewalks. But temperatures will be in the 20s tomorrow morning, upper 30s tomorrow afternoon. So it's cold, but it's not as cold as today was. We'll have a chance to be a little bit warmer, and maybe you can get a little work done on anything you still need to clear around your home for it to be a little safer. Now, the questions as we go throughout the week, are there any warm-ups? No. Are there any weather systems? Not for now, not over the next couple of days, but as we trend toward the weekend, I actually think the chance of another winter system is going up, not down for us. So a lot of intrigue, a lot of interest will be for our area as we go into the Saturday timeframe. Now, we're sitting here on Tuesday. There's a lot that can change. It's important not to get too high or too low, but the trends do tend to show an increasing chance for some snowfall coming up into Saturday. And this is kind of how it happens. When you're studying the weather patterns, you're looking at the jet stream, you're looking at all these different things in different levels of the atmosphere. One of the things that you'll notice is that when the jet stream is pretty flat, like it is right now, just like that, there's usually not much going on. The storms usually aren't happening around you. There's not a lot of disruption. But as we go into the weekend, look what happens. You have this big swirling jet stream that's taking a big dip now, and that usually can cause low pressure to develop. And so in this case, I would expect by Saturday, we're pretty likely to have low pressure developing off the Carolina coast. So the question is, how close does it develop to us? Is it onshore or offshore? Those are kind of the two possibilities here. So track number 2, and we're going to have cold air. Cold air is going to be here, which a lot of times that's our big problem. But cold air is going to be here, not just at the surface, but also above our heads. And so this time around, if you get a storm system on Saturday, it's going to bring snow. It's not going to be sleet, freezing rain, regular rain. It's snow or dry. Those are the two options. Option number 1 here tends to leave us dry, kind of on the outside looking in. Option number 2 tends to bring us snow. And sometimes it can bring you a lot of snow. And that's all on the table here. So we do have potential going into this weekend of getting a lot of snow, or getting a little snow, or staying dry. Those are all still on the table here as we sit 4 days away. But on one side of the coin, 4 days is a little long of a way out. But on the other side, it's actually not too far overall. So one of the things we can look at is kind of using probabilities. So with this system up and down the East Coast right now, who would be at biggest risk of having some moderate impacts from snow? That would mean, just some disruptions to your life. You're probably having hazardous driving out there. You probably want to avoid doing all that much travel, and you probably have some closures and stuff that lingers. So what are the chances of that happening? Well, for our Triad area where we live, the odds of that, disruptions of winter weather, well, they're already at 50% or close to it, about 40 to 50%. Farther to the west, lower than that. So if you're in Wilkes or Surrey or Yadkin, not as much of a chance. If you're off to the east, maybe in Raleigh or especially in eastern North Carolina, well, these are the areas that actually have a bigger chance of impactful snow. We're talking about several inches here. So what's the chance of getting several inches of snow? The chance is pretty high over this way. 70, even 80%. That's pretty astounding for this stage in the game. And for us, even still, a pretty good chance of that too, 30 to 40%. So I am starting to buy in that we're probably going to have a system here. And this is something that we're going to have to watch very carefully throughout the rest of the week and hopefully kind of fine-tuning the details as we get a little bit closer. But if we learn anything about winter weather, it's to kind of keep a level message and not to go too high or too low all at once. So what we know, low pressure forming offshore on Saturday. Yes, we have cold air. That's locked in, it seems. But will the moisture make it inland? And if so, how much? Accumulating snow. The chance of that is going up, not down. But still, we need to watch it. Anything is still possible at this stage in the game. I can show you a couple of different models. This one here is what we call the European model. You're probably familiar with it, but it tends to be a pretty good one for us. So this was earlier today. It had snow for us for a period of time, and then it pulls it off the coast. The timing on this is Saturday. This model is a lot snowier. We call it the GFS model. That would start it for us around Saturday morning, and it basically has it snowing all day long. And this would be a pretty heavy event if that were to happen. It would be light and fluffy if it were to happen. And you'd have a lot of snow. So those are options on the table. And if you want to look at it, kind of visualize it in a different way, here are some different model odds or model probabilities of what might happen. So could you get an inch of snow? The odds of that are pretty high. Could you get 3 inches? I'll tell you what, the odds of that are pretty high too. But computer models are flipping and flopping every 6 hours. So these are just guides. They're not to be taken all that seriously. And I can tell you just from experience, we have a long way to go. There are always surprises within the 4-day window. So just kind of keep on checking back and we'll keep you up to speed. But do know that disruptions to your life are possible Saturday. And if it happens, we get the aftermath. So then it would be resetting the clock. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, snow removal, icy roads, the whole deal. Winter. Getting a real stretch of winter here, aren't we? 38 for the high tomorrow. We look ahead in the 7-day. I do not have us very warm very often over the next 7 days. Cold mornings too. That'll be something that continues for a while. So just kind of keep an eye on what's going on. That's your forecast here. We'll keep you posted on the snow chance. And it's probably going to be a News 2 weather alert for us Saturday, Sunday, and into early Monday for the snow chance, but also for the cold, the chill that's going to remain as we get down to right around 10 degrees on those days, Sunday and Monday. Stay safe out there. We'll have more coming on at 11.